All right, fellas. So a lot of you guys are always saying, hey man, I want to change my life. I want to change my life. Here are some things you need to do if you're serious about changing your life, all right? I'm going to tell you exactly how to go into monk mode and how to execute your goals. So number one is going to be, of course, strength training. Make sure that you're lifting weights. It's good for everything. It's good for your joint health. It's good for your energy levels. It's good for your mindset. It's going to help you build muscle. When you build more muscle, you lose more fat. Very simple, all right? I'm just knocking out the first three very basic things. Number two, very simple, is going to be nutrition. There's no excuse to eat like shit. There's literally no excuse. There's no benefits to eating like shit. There's never been a time where your doctor's like, hey man, you gotta put on more fat. That never happens. All right, we all have too much excess fat. Lock in on your nutrition, eat more whole foods. Eat more whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean meats. When you eat higher protein, when you're eating more saturated fats, all that stuff's gonna raise your testosterone. The more testosterone you have, the more ambition you have, the more muscle you build. Is there anything wrong with building muscle? No, that's a good thing. All right. Also, you're gonna have more energy because you're not eating bullshit. A lot of you guys have low energy because you're eating processed stuff all day long. You're gonna have low energy. You're gonna have a huge stomach. You're gonna feel like crap when you're eating Frosted Flakes. You're gonna feel like crap when you're eating Pop-Tarts. You're gonna feel like crap when you're eating pizza. All right, and you're drinking liquor. Stop doing that. Stop it. Get some help. No, anyways. Number three is gonna be fapping. Stop fapping. Stop watching corn and stop flapping. All right, stop fapping. When you fap, you get rid of your energy, all right? Here's the thing, when you hold your seed, I know you guys that read Napoleon Hill, you know about sexual transmutation. The energy from the seed goes up to your brain and all that other stuff is what they say. But just from experience, when you hold your seed, you have more energy, more ambition. You wake up with a purpose. You wake up and you wanna beat the day's ass, right? You wanna take control of your day. Versus when you release your seed, you feel weak, you feel lazy. You feel just like you feel like crap. It's almost like smoking weed. You just feel lazy. You don't want to do anything all day long. All right. So that's the difference between when you are actually holding your seed versus not holding your seed. So hold your seed. All right. Have some discipline. That's also part of discipline. Not giving in to temptations all the time. Not watching flicks all the time. Hold your seed, guys. Stop giving it away and stop watching these flicks. Stop subscribing to OnlyFans. Stop doing those things, guys. You need to lock in if you're serious about reaching your goals. Remember, this video is for those who are serious about reaching their goals. All right, it's still on. Okay, cool. Next is gonna be reading, all right? Obviously, it's important to read, but listen, if you read 10 pages a day, what happens? That ends up being 10 to 12 books a year. And what's so good about reading 10 to 12 books? When you're reading self-help books, I'm not talking about Lord of the Rings and shit like that. When you're reading self-help books and you're actually applying these things, you're gonna become the best version of yourself. You're gonna have to be. Right? Because you're actually doing these things for the first time in your life. All right. It behooves me that a lot of you guys actually have access to Napoleon Hill books, The Compound Effect. You have access to these books. You have those books lined up and you don't apply them. It's fucking ridiculous. All right. Apply what you read. All right. So if you're reading these books, start applying it. It's super important that you apply these things. All right. Apply everything in those books. When I read Compound Effect, when I read Think and Grow Rich, I literally apply all of that shit that I get. All right. That I get from it. As soon as I start reading it. Within the first 10 pages, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit's it, man. Let me change my perspective. I'm changing my perspective. This is it, man. This is it. All right. Very, very simple. Number 5, right? Be intentional by taking your goals very, very, very seriously. Take your goals seriously, fellas. Take your goals seriously. You have to. If you don't take your goals seriously, who is going to take your goals seriously? Nobody else, right? No one is responsible for your goals but yourself. When you start taking it more seriously, you have more intention with it, then you're going to start to see shit happen, right? You're going to start to see shit happen. When you're intentional with your goals and you start going towards it, you're going to be like, oh shit, life is moving in the way I want it to. Duh, because you're actually doing what you said you were going to do, which is something a lot of you guys lack, all right? Another thing is, right, number 6, routine. Now, you don't have to do a crazy morning routine where you're eating, when you're putting banana peels on your face, pause, you're putting your face in ice and shit. You don't have to do that. You just need some kind of structure in order to keep your mindset on the highest level every single day. When you have a morning routine, it's like you control the day, you start off the day, right? You feed your mind with positivity. You set yourself up for the day, you're gonna have a better day. You're not gonna be affected by all the negative shit that happens during the day. If you don't do anything when you wake up and you just go to work, there's gonna be a lot of negative shit getting into your mind. You're gonna have a negative mindset overall. Now, if you wanna have a good morning routine, you wanna wake up on time, guess what you gotta do? You gotta sleep on time. You gotta have a night routine as well. Take your sleep seriously, schedule your sleep. If you really struggle with sleep, drink some chamomile tea, take some melatonin until you get used to it, all right? It's very, very important to take sleep and waking up seriously. Those things are super important. Sleep is the best pre-workout, period. So you're gonna wake up feeling refreshed. And the best way to wake up early is to go to sleep on time. It's like literally that simple. A lot of you guys go to sleep at like 2 a.m. and wake up at 5 a.m. and you don't have to go to sleep at 2 a.m. You're not doing anything. You're just scrolling on your phone. Which brings me to point number 6 or 7. Can't remember which one I'm on. Brings us to my next point though. Stop consuming so much shit on social media. Stop watching the news 24/7. All right, stop doing that. All right. Me and my homeboys that take social media very seriously, been taking it seriously for a while. Obviously, you get roasted when you first start posting. People are like, haha, what the fuck? But we don't consume, we produce. So we post something, then we're not in these comment sections of BR Gridiron or Football Forever or the NFL complaining about someone who doesn't know you exist. I don't waste my time doing that shit. It's goofy. All right. Me and my friends who take the social media shit seriously, like I said, we produce. We might answer some DMs here and there, might answer some comments and stuff like that. But we go on there to post and that's it. We're not consuming mindless content. The more content, obviously everything you consume matters. So the more mindless content you consume, the more bullshit you consume, the more negative content you consume, the worse you're gonna be off. And if you spend too long on TikTok, you're gonna get some ass shaking videos and then you're gonna end up going to the hub and beating your meat. And then guess what? You release your seed. Now you messed up this whole monk mode process, all right? And when I say monk mode, I don't mean you don't talk to chicks, because realistically, when you're in monk mode, since you're so focused and you're leveling up so fast, you're probably actually going to get the most chicks you've ever gotten in your life. Let's just be real. It is what it is. They're just going to be approaching you left and right. The premise of monk mode is putting yourself first. Like when you're in monk mode, all that stuff is putting yourself first. It usually follows a period of time where you went through a breakup, where you're sick of not reaching your goals, you're sick of not becoming the best version of yourself. That's when monk mode really starts. All right, that's when you really want to dive in and go into it. And you're gonna elevate mentally, financially, emotionally, right, physically, all that stuff. You're gonna elevate. You're gonna become the best version of yourself. Right, just take that shit seriously. Stop beating your meat, guys. Stop smoking weed and wasting all this time on this stuff. Now, like I always say, if you smoke weed and you have $10 million in your bank account and you're structured, you're disciplined, that's cool. Listen, 99% of people who smoke weed are not disciplined. They're not doing that shit. All right. Now, if you're a rapper and you're smoking weed and you're doing shows, that's cool. But if you're out of shape, right? You got negative 100,000 to your name. Everything's going wrong, right? You have a negative attitude. Stop smoking weed.